when we learn how to work with the energy of our heart space, not only do we invite in more love and possibility into our lives, but we actually change our perception and our ability to commune with meaning. Hello and welcome back to Remember Why You're Here, a podcast for seekers and sensitives where you can relax, receive, reconnect to yourself, and remember the most important thing of all, why you're here. In this episode leading up to Valentine's Day, I thought I would revisit one of my favorite videos I've made called Earth as Valentine. So in this episode, we're going to step into a framing, a way of looking at the earth that helps you to connect in an even deeper way. This way of seeing our earth as your Valentine. It's really one of the sweetest things I think I've made, and I'm excited about revisiting it because it always helps me in this season where we are so focused on romantic love to expand that romance into the lives we're leading, into the relationship that we have with this planet, and to really create more romance in our lives, because if we can have a romance with the earth, we can have romance at any second, at any time. You know, in English, we really only have one word for love, but I think a lot about in the ancient Greek, how there was this whole vocabulary to describe the wondrous variety of love that we can experience on this planet. There's philia for friendship love and storge for the love of one's kin. And then, of course, there's the infamous eros, that burning passion that we're used to seeing on Valentine's Day cards and such. But then beyond all these loves, there was agape. And for the ancient Greeks, agape was this expression of like pure unconditional love. It's a word for love that's boundless in its kindness and compassion and divine warmth. When we're in agape, we're connected to the reality at the heart of all existence, the knowledge that we're loved without condition. In agape, we can know just how precious we are, and we can feel how profoundly we're held by a wider benevolence. I feel like we don't have that many experiences of agape these days in our culture, partially because we've cut ourselves off from the wellspring of agape that exists beneath our feet, this relationship with the earth. So regardless of whether or not I've had a sweetheart on Valentine's Day, I've always loved celebrating Valentine's Day. Like, I just can't help it. I'm such like a goon for this day. I'll do things like just leaving myself flowers in the morning, or, surprising my coworkers with chocolates. But really a lot changed for me when I started seeing the earth as my Valentine. And on a very real level, the earth is the Valentine who will never stop sending you flowers. So you can put that on your little altar for this month. The earth really is agape itself. No matter what we do or where we go, we're unconditionally held by this planet. No matter how far we stray from the perceived path, the earth is there, bringing us honey to sweeten our existence. And I'm so grateful for this ability to reframe the earth as beloved. So if you're interested in that framing, if you want to create a Valentine's Day based around, earth connection and earth ritual, then definitely stay tuned for this sweet little Valentine's Day episode. But before we hop into this episode, I wanted to let you know about a really exciting event coming up, and that is the 2026 Virtual Herbalism Conference put on by the Herbal Academy. This event is not to be missed if you are interested in herbalism, if you want to study with some of the top teachers in the whole world, like my favorite herbalists ever are speaking at this event. This event runs from February 15th to the 20th, and it's completely free, which is bonkers, because when I think about how much money and time I used to spend going to herbal conferences around the country, I'm honestly in shock that you can sign up for this and just access all these talks completely for free with just some of the most incredible herbalists on the planet. And so I am speaking as a part of the conference. My talk is on Tuesday, February 17th, and it's entitled Green Whispers and Wisdom, Soul Lessons from Plant Encounters. And I would absolutely love to see you there. So if you're interested in a 6-day conference with topics ranging from medicinal mushrooms to everyday herbalism for families, energetic patterns of diseases, to lessons from a curandera, ancient healing traditions, and ways of connecting with the plants that really help you open up new eras of being in your life. So I'm super stoked to be a part of this, and it would be awesome to connect with you there. So I'm going to put the link for that below if you would like to sign up, if you want to receive all of these incredible teachings for free, and I'll see you there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this episode now. This episode entitled "The Earth is Your Valentine," and cozy in, maybe get a box of chocolates because this is a very cute and very fun one. Here we go. We hear the phrase, "the earth is your mother," all the time, and that's really beautiful. But sometimes I wonder what would happen if we saw the earth as our lover instead. What if the earth was our beloved? How would we treat the earth then? As we come into this Valentine's Day month, I think it's worth a reframing and a shift of our mindset to think about this earth as our ultimate Valentine. This is my ultimate reframing of the earth as your Valentine. There's so many different ways that we can connect to the earth. Earth as caretaker, earth as source, earth as companion, and of course, earth as lover. A lot of times people roll their eyes at this month of February and Valentine's Day, but there's really so many different ways we can work with this invitation to give and share love. And one of those ways is to invite the earth to be your Valentine. There's a whole movement called Ecosexuality that is looking at reframing this idea of earth as mother as earth as lover, specifically because of the ways in which we often mistreat our mother and are mistreating our mother, the earth. What would happen if this was our lover? How would we treat the earth differently? This movement was really started by performance artists and activists Annie Sprinkle and Elizabeth Stevens. I encourage you to check out their work if you're interested in learning more. One of the things that they suggest that I want to suggest to you as a practice on this Valentine's Day is to make love to the earth. And there's so many ways to do that. One of the ways to do that is just to go outside and tell the earth, "I love you." In fact, how much more sense does it make to say to the earth, "I love you and I can't live without you," than it does to any person? This is the truth. We can't live without the earth. So express this. You might even want to write a love poem to the earth and speak it out loud. You could hug a tree or immerse yourself in a pile of leaves. This kind of intimacy, touch, and engagement is another way of loving this earth. I also think there's something about learning how to love the earth. It helps us to learn how to love our bodies, because truly our bodies are the earth. We are nature. And when we feel a disconnect from our bodies, this naturally can translate into a disconnection from the earth. Learning how to love the earth, love the body of the earth, helps us to love our bodies, this earth that we inhabit. So as an act of self-compassion and self-love this Valentine's Day, one of the things that you can do in honor of the earth is to honor your body. Maybe you would even want to create an earth temple out of your body, anointing yourself with infused oils or using diffused essential oils in certain parts of your body. How can you love up on the different parts of yourself as a way to metaphorically and holographically love up on the earth itself? So how can you dote on yourself? Can you take some time on your feet and meditate on the roots of this world? Can you spend a luxurious amount of time washing your hair and really send out love for our atmosphere? Love up on your body, and this is one way to love up on the earth. One of my favorite practices to do every single Valentine's Day is to give flowers to the earth. So where I live, there normally aren't flowers blooming on Valentine's Day, and yet there are so many flowers being given. So if I receive flowers for Valentine's Day, I will often keep them around in my house, and once they start to fade, instead of throwing them out or putting them in the compost, I bring them outside and I arrange them in a beautiful way for the earth. You can also take whole flower heads and separate the petals and spread them out at the roots of a tree. Another thing you can do is actually go to your local supermarket and ask them if they have any flowers that they're throwing away. This day, Valentine's Day, is such a big flower holiday that often the supermarkets are overstocking with these flowers, and so many of them get thrown out. So you can actually go a few days after Valentine's Day or in the week after and ask them, do you have any flowers that you are throwing out because they're past their peak? And you can take those flowers home and create something truly beautiful for the earth around your home. The last suggestion is to go on an earth date this Valentine's Day. Now, it might be cold where you are, so this might not be a whole day outside, but instead of planning a fancy dinner, what if you plan to go have a picnic outside? Or instead of planning to go to the movies, what if you took a long walk? If you were going to go on a date with your beloved, the earth, what would you like to do? How do you like to spend time together? Just initiating intimacy on this day of love with the earth can help reprogram your brain to see the earth as your beloved, as someone that you cherish, and as someone that cherishes and takes care of you day in, day out. So much of being able to reframe this way of seeing the earth and ourselves is all about opening our hearts. And a lot of people don't realize that our hearts are actual gates, that when we learn how to work with the energy of our heart space, not only do we invite in more love and possibility into our lives, but we actually change our perception and our ability to commune with meaning. So if you're interested in this idea of opening the heart gate, you can check out my online class, Herbs for the Heart Gate, where we talk about specific plants that can help you connect into this space of perception, magic, and possibility. So with that, lovers, I hope you have a wonderful Valentine's Day. So re-listening to this actually made me really inspired for Valentine's Day next week with my daughter, who is now 4 years old, the kind of rituals that we can do together to really help her ground in feeling the earth as her Valentine. Like Valentine's Day has taken on a whole new dimension for me since becoming a mother, and creating and cultivating that kind of love and agape between your child and the earth is just so special. So I think we're probably going to bring some flowers outside and create a little altar out there and just thank the earth for all the ways in which she holds us. So if you were inspired by this episode and you end up doing some sort of Earth as Valentine ritual, I would love to hear about it. You can leave me a message over on my website, asiasuler.com/remember. That's my voicemail service. I love getting little messages and love notes from you there. And I'm just sending you so much love and coziness and blossoming for this Valentine's Day ahead and for the weeks ahead. And if you do end up at that virtual herbal conference, I hope you receive so much from that experience, and I'm excited to see you there. So until next time, may so much agape flow your way. May the earth just continue to unfold new layers of becoming and blossoming for you in this life. And may you remember that most important thing of all, why you're here.